Let me read our Advent verses for today from Luke chapter 1, verses 23 to 25. They come after Zechariah had been told in the temple by the angel Gabriel that he was going to have a son. And because he didn't believe God could do this, he'd been struck dumb and he wasn't able to share this great news with anybody else. And so we read, when his time of service was completed, he returned home. After this, his wife Elisabeth became pregnant and for 5 months remained in seclusion. The Lord has done this for me, she said. In these days he has shown his favour and taken away my disgrace among the people. I remember the Christmas well. I was around 7 to 8 years old and it was Christmas morning. I was sat there with my mum and dad, opening my presents, when eventually we got to my present from my Uncle Ken and Auntie Babs. But there was a problem. It was too small. I guess the package was around the size of a glasses case. And they always bought me the best presents. So why wasn't this one bigger? I don't think I did a very good job of hiding my disappointment as my mum passed me the gift. Almost begrudgingly, I slowly opened it. And once the wrapping was off and the box opened, I realised just how wrong I'd been. Inside the box was my first ever watch, something I treasured for a long time. Well, I wonder in this Advent season whether we ever take anything for granted to the point where we fail to be grateful when we receive it. Elisabeth certainly didn't. She had borne the pain of not being able to conceive a child, it seems for many years. And although her husband had been told by God that she would have a baby, a boy, what an important child he was to become, Zechariah had not been able to share this information with Elisabeth because God had struck him dumb, when he failed to trust that God would see good on his promise. Elisabeth, like my mum and dad when they adopted me as a week-old baby, she had no idea how her child was going to turn out. It was only after she gave birth that Zechariah got his voice back and was able to explain to her what God had said. But far from taking this pregnancy for granted, Elisabeth, we read, simply said, the Lord has done this for me. A quiet response to a huge life event. A life event for this couple which was beyond the simple birth of their child. It was part of God's great plan of salvation, which would work itself out in time as their child, whom we know today as John the Baptist, would point people to the Messiah that people have been waiting all these years for. I wonder what we need to be grateful for today. I wonder what surprises await us as God brings his blessings into our lives. I wonder if we remember to be truly grateful at this time of the year as we reflect once again on what God has done for us by sending his son Jesus to be born, to live and to die for us. And as we move through Advent, as we think about the coming of Jesus, may we take time to reflect, and may our hearts simply respond with the words, the Lord has done this for me.